Hello and welcome to all my loyal subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you for joining me this week. So, what happened in the market this week? Well, we saw a very large rebound in the markets as a result of the CPI, or as I call it, the CPI number coming in better than expected. So, the CPI came in at 7.7%. They were expecting 7.9, so it did cool off. But saying that, it's still up 7.7% since last year. Now, we know the official number is much higher than that, actually double at least, but even the official number cooling off a little bit saw the markets have an incredible move to the upside. The jobs report, though, was very, very strong, and when the jobs report of the labor market is very strong, it gives the green light to the Federal Reserve and reserve banks around the world to continue to raise rates. I don't have to worry too much about the labor market cracking, but that is going to be short lived. I believe by 6 months time, so 6 months from now, you will start to see the increase in interest rates starting to impact employment. Unemployment always goes up when you start increasing interest rates, and I believe that's exactly what is going to happen here. 6 months from now, you'll start to see cracks in the labor market. Unemployment will go up. Then the Federal Reserve will realize that these increase in interest rates are going to crash the economy unless they pivot. At that point, we may see an epic rally, and with some very fundamentally sound, profitable, great free cash flow companies that are massively undervalued right now, that have sold off 50, 60, 70%, you could see an incredible rally with those in 6 months' time or so if the Federal Reserve does start to see that weakness in the labor market. But we're not seeing that yet. So, strong jobs number, reduction in the inflation number, and we saw the markets move much higher. So as you can see, having a dramatic move to the upside. Now, if we look at our opening range, we can see that we are in fact bullish right now. So we can see we're above 3911, which is the line in the sand between bullish and bearish, and we are bullish right now. We're in bullish opening range mode. If we get below 3843, we will be in bearish opening range mode up until when? The third Friday of the month. So we're going to reset that at the end of this week. Now, I believe that ultimately, over the next couple of months, the month or so, or maybe a little bit longer than that, we will make new lows. We will take out this low here of 3491. There is more selling to come. Yes, we've seen a bit of a rally on the inflation numbers cooling off a little bit, but I think that'll be short-lived. A lot of the indexes are overbought. They're running into resistance levels, key resistance levels, say 4,000 round number resistance on the QQQ. We are seeing that 290 level as a resistance level, as you can see there. So I believe a lot of the indexes are overbought right now, running into resistance, and I think still inflation is a problem, and we will see the markets move lower from here, making new lows, taking out these prior lows and moving to the downside. Maybe not straight away, but we will see that moving forward, is my opinion. So, having said all of that, what's been happening with Bitcoin? I spoke about Bitcoin last week, looking for that to move up. What did it do? Well, it went down. Well, Sean, that's pretty surprising because we have been looking at the inverse relationship between the US dollar and Bitcoin. When US dollar moves down, you see Bitcoin go up. That's exactly what we saw. I told you about this short-term downward channel here, sloping downward channel. I said if it breaks this lower line, obviously the US dollar is going down, but the markets will go up, and that will see risk assets go up, Bitcoin go up, and that's what's been happening for a very long time. So, Sean, with that in mind, the fact that it had broken this downward sloping trend line last time we spoke, US dollar moving down should have been the perfect scenario for Bitcoin to go up, and it should have been. Everything that we saw as a reason for Bitcoin to go up actually came to fruition. However, what did occur, obviously, and a lot of people know, is FTX, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, actually filing for bankruptcy. Sees millions of dollars in assets removed from their platform just hours after filing for bankruptcy. So when you're getting one of the largest exchanges in crypto filing for bankruptcy, that does have ripple effects in the cryptocurrency markets, obviously Bitcoin being part of that. And that's why we're seeing that selling going on right now. Do I think there'll be further selling? Yes, I think we're going to see more selling now that that's happened, right? Again, you can look at the charts as much as you want, but you're never going to see one of the biggest exchanges in the world as far as crypto goes filing for bankruptcy. How would you know that, right? So that came out of nowhere, and this is a big problem. I believe that we are in the middle of a shakeout phase in the cryptocurrency market. In any new technology, you will get an S-curve adoption, right? So the S-curve is always how you track the adoption of a new technology like Bitcoin, which is still relatively new. Once you get to around 20-25% adoption, you always have something called the shakeout phase. And that's what we're going through right now, where weak exchanges, weak cryptocurrencies will be crushed, they will fail, there'll be bankruptcies, there'll be blood in the streets. This always happens. And this is what we saw in the tech .com crash back in 2000, where you saw technology companies falling 80%, some of them completely collapsing. That was the shakeout phase. Amazon went from $100 to $5, lost 95% of its value. There was blood in the streets. People were pessimistic. There was a lot of selling. But then after that happened, after that shakeout phase occurred, over the next 20 years, you saw these same technology companies increase in price by thousands of percent. And I think you'll see exactly the same thing with cryptocurrencies as well, like Bitcoin, for example. Yes, there's blood in the street. Yes, there'll be more selling. Yes, Bitcoin could go down to 12, 10,000 or lower. This could very easily happen now. We've seen this significant event occur with FTX going bankrupt. Causes a lot of panic, a lot of selling, and people jump on the bandwagon and continue to sell. So more downside coming, right? We will go lower in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies from here. And the position that we had on looking for Bitcoin to go up actually only had a $12 loss per contract. So a very small loss on that one. But the other position that we had on that I spoke about last week on Amazon had a beautiful move to the upside. So we actually set up two trades. We sold the 90 strike put option, cash secured put option, looking to own the stock. We sold that 90 strike for the 16th of December for $4.75. We just bought it back for $1.64. So we made a 3.5% return based on the $90 strike price we may have to buy the stock at. So 3.5% return for the week is pretty good. We also set up a call vertical spread on this as well, looking for it to get above $95, as I showed you on last week's video. That particular trade, that call vertical spread, we've made a 57% return in 1 week. So both of those trades worked out very well, and we took a small loss on our MAR Bitcoin trade, right? So overall, we were miles in front. So that's what we're looking at there. The other trade that we've still got on is in Brown & Brown Insurance. Looking for that to move down. If it did close above 59.17, I'd get out of the trade, but still does look weak. I mean, it was down almost 3.5% when the overall market was up. So looking for further downside there. What I'm also looking at right now is semiconductors. So if we have a look here at semiconductors, we can see they've had an epic rally recently. They've gone from around 167 to 220 in a very short period of time. But what they've done now is they've actually created an overbought condition, and they're right up against this downward sloping trend line. So right up against resistance, overbought, and I believe that will move down with the overall market. So what I'm looking to do is set up an out-of-the-money put debit spread. I'm looking to set this up with asymmetrical risk. What's that, Sean? That's where we can make more money than the risk that we're taking. In this case, 3-to-1. So I've structured a put spread for the 16th of the 12th expiry that has $105 of risk per contract and $315 of potential profit. Okay, so we're looking for it to come down and fill this gap at 197. I need it to get below 200, and it is a very good looking trade. So that's something that we've got on right now, looking for semiconductors to pull back. It may have a little move up still, but over the next month, I'm looking for it to pull back and fill this gap at around 197. So that's one trade that we've got on, and also looking to place a trade on UUP, the US dollar, where they, it shows you changes in value of the US dollar compared to other major currencies from around the world. I believe there's 6 of them. So, yes, we've had a big sell-off, but it's at a support level right now. May go a little further to the downside, but over the next month or so, I'm looking for it to move higher. So we've got a bullish position there. So this week, as far as what's going on, we have retail sales on Wednesday. We'll certainly be watching that. Producer price index and core PPI on the Tuesday. So that gives us a bit of an idea of where CPI may occur going forward, where that may land up. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Retail sales and then manufacturing. We need to keep an eye on that manufacturing data coming out on both Tuesday and Thursday. So that's what's going on there this week. So they're the 2 new positions that I'm getting into. We're looking at semiconductors, MSH to move down and UUP to go up. Right, so that's what we're looking for. We made great money on Amazon this week, and very small loss on MAR on the Bitcoin trade. Overall, we're miles ahead, and we're looking to set these 2 new trades up, like I just mentioned, for this week. All right, my friends, so keep an eye on the US dollar, right? If we do see the US dollar continuing to move higher, right, start to rebound off that oversold, approaching 30 on the RSI at resistance, support, should I say, at support and oversold, we could, if we start to see a rebound there, you will see the market start to sell off, right? So keep an eye on that. And I do see Bitcoin moving further down after FTX's collapse. All right, my friends, I'll talk to you again next week. Thanks so much for listening. All the best, and bye for now.